name is Colonel George Washington Williams. I'm an American politician, lawyer, and historian. Upon my recent visit to the independent state of Congo, I have discovered and documented atrocities laid upon the native people of the Congo under the rule of King Leopold II. These atrocities include cruelties of the most astounding character practiced by the natives, such as burying slaves alive in the grave of a dead chief, cutting off the heads of captured warriors in native combats, all while no effort is put forth by your Majesty's government to prevent them. The courts of your Majesty's government are abortive, unjust, partial, and delinquent. I've personally witnessed and examined their clumsy operations. They are excessively cruel to their prisoners, condemning them for the slightest offenses to the chain gang, to the likes of which cannot be seen in any other government in the civilized or uncivilized world. Women are imported into your Majesty's government for immoral purposes. They are introduced by two methods. Black men are dispatched to the Portuguese coast where they engage these women as mistresses of white men who pay to the procurer a monthly sum. The other method is by capturing native women and condemning them to 7 years servitude for some imaginary crime against the state with which the villages of these women are charged. The state then hires these women out to the highest bidder, the officers having their first choice, then the men. Your Majesty's government has violated the General Act of the Conference of Berlin by firing upon native canoes, by confiscating the property of natives, by intimidating native traders and preventing them from trading with white trading companies, by quartering troops in native villages when there is no war, and by engaging in the wholesale and retail slave trade itself. They are guilty of waging an unjust and cruel war against the natives with the hope of securing slaves and women to minister to the behest of the officers of King Leopold's government. Today I will be speaking to King Leopold II, Henry Morton Stanley, and Malumba Nuska, and I will ask them about the Congo. Your Majesty, what purpose did you have in colonizing the Congo?
As King of Belgium, I had many goals for the colonies in the Congo. I wanted Belgium to have a colony so much that I decided to buy it myself. I wanted to continue my humanitarian projects in Africa, so I sent out Sir Henry Morton Stanley to acquire as much land as he can. He made treaties with local tribe leaders, and from there we were able to acquire parts of Africa in the Berlin Conference. When I first came to Africa, it was filled with opportunities. I was able to find much fortune in the ivory as well as the rubber trade. With the takeoff of the automobile, rubber was abundant in Africa, and so I was able to obtain much rubber from that area.
And Your Majesty, how do you account for the atrocities that took place in the Congo?
Some of my tactics may have been rough. I believe they are not as horrible as you've claimed, Mr. Williams. We're just extremely strict when it comes to meeting our rubber quotas. I tried to help Belgium by doing what I did. After all, with the money I had made in the Congo, I was able to create many buildings, public works, and urban projects that are still a part of Belgium society today.
So who are you?
My name is Henry Morton Stanley. Actually, I was born John Rowlands. I decided to take the name of a friend, to have a fresh start, you know?
What was your involvement in the genocide of Congo?
Well, it all started with my friend Livingston. I set out to complete the exploration of Africa that he wouldn't. I wasn't really into British interests much, so I ended up serving under the Belgian king, King Leopold II. At first, I was sent to the Congo Basin. I was ordered to build a road from the lower Congo up to what was called Stanley Pool. It was around this time that my men had given me the name Bula Matari, which means breaker of rocks. I also persuaded the natives that it was in their best interests to give up the rights to their land. When the natives annoyed me, I would shoot them dead. While I was at it, I took all the ivory I could find. I wanted the natives to realize who they were dealing with.
So it was ivory you were after?
Well, ivory was valuable and all, but nothing could compare to the value of rubber. The automobile industry made sure of this. It was because of rubber that my expedition led to the brutal death of 10 million natives. It's not my fault they couldn't meet the rubber quota.
So what exactly happened to those who didn't meet the quota?
Well, in order to assure that those who couldn't meet the rubber quota were dead, King Leopold ordered that their right hand would be cut off and sent to him overseas. Some of the natives would even fight over each other's hands. Really, there was no point though. Half of them would end up dead regardless.
Do you feel guilt over what happened?
What do you mean feel bad? My great accomplishments led me to be knighted in 1899. Not everyone can be as brave as me.
Malumbanuska, what was your part in the Congo?
Yes, I'm Manumbanuska. I was given a job to do, and I did it for the sake of my own people. I was given this job by the Zapazaps people from Songhai, located in the eastern region of the Congo. The Zapazaps were in alliance with King Leopold II from the Belgians. My people were forced by these manipulating people from Europe. The Congo Free State authorities, along with other native people, were all guilty of heinous crimes, all for the greed of land and product.
What about King Leopold II?
King Leopold II, the leader in 1899, used us. We recently had engaged in slave raiding with the Arabs prior to the arrival of the Europeans. We exchanged weapons with the Arabs for peace and land.
Where do your people come from?
In Casa Oriental, near the country of Angola, in the southeast of the Congo Free State, was our big city, which flourished at one time. In 1895, we became the owners of the big plantations. My people sold and traded ivory and rubber.
So what did you do?
In 1899, the commander Lola Bora Dovar wanted to collect taxes from the Kumba Kingdom. The Kumba Kingdom is also the Congo right next to us. I was given this job from the leader himself, Zapa Zap. We summoned the chiefs to pay taxes, demanding 60 slaves, a herds of goats, and 2,500 balls of rubber. When the chiefs refused to pay, off with his heads. And death came too quickly as the Zaps killed, looted, and burned many villages. I showed the Presbyterian chaplain, Dr. Shepherd, the dead bodies in the 81 cut-off hands. He counted and collected and showed them off to everyone. I also detained and captured and detained many women and placed them into prisons. I was arrested later for these crimes. I was found guilty by the same state government which told me to do this job. This is what I get for being involved with a disloyal King Leopold II.